Hi, Sian, and
Hello.
welcome to Walk in the Park.
Thank you.
So in Walk in the Park, we usually invite founders to share about their journey, how they started the company, what inspired them, about their values and the background, what formed them. So we are walking outside and reflecting on your journey.
Let's do so.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to get to know you better and your transition into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And we are in Mandal. During a Slash event here in the south of Norway, which is the second time happening here. Let's walk.
Let's do so.
So my first question is actually usually, how often do you have walk and talks, if you have?
We do actually have, me and one of my co-founders do often take around the corners for 10 minutes just to get the feelings out and have a nice discussion about products, customers. So we actually do that quite often.
Good, glad to hear that. And you're local, right?
I'm local, yeah.
You're based in Mandal.
Kristiansand.
Tell us more about yourself. So who are you and what do you do now?
Okay, I'm 47 years old. My education is economist. I've been working in bank and finance for around 14 years. And then I was a little bit tired of banking, to be honest. So I decided to do some other things. So I became a CEO of a carrier company, a medium-sized carrier company in Kristiansand. I was that for 4 or 5 years. Worked a lot, was very tired of it because, this was not a very good environment to be in after time. But in that period of time, I had a lot of thoughts, questions, stupid questions about what do you do so, why is every process so manually, why do you drive empty with a car in the return, and so on and so on. I was thinking we could do that in another way. So I quit. I had a thought, I had a PowerPoint, I have a slide. I didn't have a team, I didn't have anything. I had a good network. I was pitching this for some co-founders, but also a CTO that is not a CTO anymore. So we built an MVP of a matchmaking pool of 4 carriers, so you could have more loads in return, because 1 out of 3 was going empty. A matching portal, if you would like to say. So that's where we started, and a totally another product where we are at the moment.
This is very interesting. I'm looking forward to explore more on that journey. But what was that you started to do first thing when you started the company? You started to talk to potential customers, or you started to build a product or a team? What was your first step?
We started to think product. So we that was my thought started in 2016. The PowerPoint was in 2018. We didn't have any investors, so I was giving away some equity in form of ownerships in the company. I knew that it's gonna take a lot of time, so we
to build
a product, to get an MVP, to get out in the market, to have any customers or any traction at all. So for doing that, I had a nice wife still. So we sold our house in Kristiansand and moved to Farsund. That's 1.5 hours from here. It's could been in almost in a Norwegian television episode called Der ingen tror at noen kunne bo. I don't know what that's in English, but
so no one can believe somebody can live here?
Exactly. So because I need 2 years without a salary, a lot of invested capital into it, so I had to sell my house. I had a wife that was into it, so we just did it. And just now we are going to sell the house and move back. So it took us six years. Sure.
So cool. So you planned for it. You were doing conscious steps. You knew what you needed to do, and you were so sure that that's going to work.
Not at all. We were building at the moment a platform regarding customers on one side, that was a carrier company, and receivers on the other side, that was a carrier company. And we saw that it's not working. It's not working because they are the last one in the process. They are not a good payer. They are not the first movers. They are very traditional. They would like to get around the system as quickly they get a new partners, so that they wouldn't use the the software as much as I would like. They also thought it was competitive to what they actually were doing, because we were into doing a lot of networking, digital, than they were doing on the Facebook and mail and manually. So it didn't work, so we did a lot of pivots on the way. And today we are administration software for enterprise customers into the rental, concrete and steel. So we actually went over to the other side because we said, how could we get all the loads? Where could we get the loads? We need to go to the customers that buy transport service. So now we're building an administration service that they are using every day, every hour in enterprise segment, like Reimerent or a big steel company or a big concrete Heidelberg Materials, or to do that I couldn't have done that alone, but of course, so we have a good team around us that saw possibilities.
After several pivots and testing, playing around, finding those sweet spots, when you finally found the product market fit, what was the feeling?
The feeling is, it's really good. You're very compatible. You could go into a customer, know that you have the product they need, could be more efficient, give them a lot of values. So we are actually building more like a moat software where we have control of the whole value chain for the customers, from booking, documentations, and also the financial with invoicing as well. So we're building a really sticky product. So we're building the moat inside these operations for our customers, so it's hard to get out.
That's very smart. What about competitors? Did you meet any competitors on the way, or was it smooth?
No, we have competitors all the day long regarding the culture and the way you work, but it's manually. It's duplicates like shared Excel or shared Google Docs or mails, phone calls. So for instance, they didn't have any control of the loading time, but it was a cost regarding the loading time, but they couldn't document it. So we came in and give them the times where they should put their efforts to get down the costs. We helped them have control of the invoice that before us came from the carrier sides. So we helped them in a lot of different ways in the transport administration's everyday work.
What are you personally most passionate about in your work?
What should I say? See the customers is really happy, giving them a lot of feedback, how we helped being more sustainable, more efficient, get down the costs. But it takes time, especially into the enterprise, but the return on investment is so big. So we just need to have a little bit patience,
You've done a lot of key account management work, right? Before.
Yes, yeah.
So how do you feel those type of experiences help you now on the way of building company?
A lot. You understand the reaction of peoples emotionally and everything, both building a team, colleagues, customers, and networking regarding investors and everything. So that's helped me a lot in understanding the dialogues, when you should push and not, and so on. So I think that's helped me a lot in working with business customers many years before I started as a founder.
You mentioned several times now you're not doing that alone and building a team. So let's start with the co-founders. How is the co-founding team look like, and how did you find your co-founders?
Someone we have been with me, one of Thomas, my colleague, has been with me from the start. That was until we had our first investments from investors. Then we had a lot of consultants. Those consultants has been to colleagues. So we actually hired a CTO He was in for 2 years time as a consultant before he went to a CTO, so that was important for us. And after that we know 7 colleagues. Some of them are co-founders, someone is not, but it's really important to have a great team. Everybody says that, of course, but it's also really important that you don't rush and get the wrong persons in and being stuck with that. It's quite so that's hard. But we had a great team, 7 employees at the moment, a team of 10, and we're now hiring 2 more people this year.
Many founders say the biggest mistakes they do is on hiring the wrong people and losing so much time on that. Have you had any of those experiences, or you've been lucky?
No, I don't want to say that we had any experience about having the wrong people in. Probably because we have, as I said, a lot of consultants before they were hired, and the other employees is great. So I can't see that's my experience. But without a great team, we couldn't probably done those quite important pivots that we have made on our journey so far. That's the most important thing you have to do. You can't be stuck with a baby. You have to see how you could get the customer to use your products. You can't be stuck to the baby. But still, for us, that's a good soul to have underneath all the other we are building. It's the baby though, but I think we need to move further on to get the growth that the ownerships wants and the customers.
What about culture? How do you build a culture in a company that people can thrive and do their best and enjoy it?
Yeah, that's really important. For me, living in Farsund, 1.5 drive from the office, I haven't been much home in the week because I need to be on the office. It's where the magic happens. So everybody needs to take their place. They need to have inputs, they need to be listened to. Everybody needs to build a product together, involving both customers but also the team, of course. So it's really important that everybody feels that they are important, and not just an employee, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Is it easy for you to give them space?
No, not at all. I trust everybody I've hired. I give them a lot of space. If not, we ain't going forward. It doesn't have to go through my mind every time. So I do my thing and they do theirs, and we have a strong leading team, and all the colleagues are great, actually. Taking place, they need to take place.
Sometimes founder says being a CEO of a startup can be lonely. So what do you think about that? And do you have supporters, mentors, people around you? Is that important for founders?
It's really important. Never start a new company on your own. I started straight before COVID. I was working from my home office all by myself. I was calling my other co-founder sometimes. He had another job. I just had this one. And he said, I can't be your psycholog. You need to figure it out yourself. So I was a little bit lonely in a year time there, almost giving up. But
how did you pick yourself up? Did you find the way or yourself, or did you get more supporters?
Yeah, at that time we were a matching portal, so I was building up the both sides of the portal. It was quite hard. I was in the phone all the time, every day. It was quite hard, but I just did it. I had to do it. Yeah. So I don't know. I just managed. I just was focused on what I was doing, but it was not just fun, to be honest. But that was that time. Now it's. Yeah, having a strong team is really important. I can't say that enough for other people that's gonna build up a new company. You can't do it on your own.
One of the founders on the Walk and Talk, she said, entrepreneurship is about being comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
You can relate to that, right?
Yeah, sure.
What is your favorite part about being the CEO of a company? It's a pretty big responsibility. A lot of things you should take care. How do you enjoy it?
I enjoy a lot of things, being involved in a lot of things, like a potato. I like to to fit in with investors. I like to fit in with the team. I like to fit in with the customers, with the product management. And we are a small team, so I like to be involved. I like to have a good discussions. And I'm not a person that goes to work 8 to 5 and go home and I think work. I'm passionate about what I do. I've always been there. This is a fun way to do it. A lot of work, if it's not fun, you get tired. So everything is fun actually, but it's a lot of mentality, thinking. How could I get in this investor round? How should I do this? How should I do that? How could we get more customers? How could we grow faster? How could we spend less money? Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Talking about that, a lot of thinking and a lot big lists of to-dos. And how do you have any routines or rituals? How you decide what to focus on today?
It's important for me when I'm coming home for the weekends, try to do other things, try to think, with my wife and my kids, not being on work all day, but still I'm dreaming Swipload. I think Swipload now in back of my head, so it's never going away. But it's what should I say? It's important to do other stuff, not
Take
just
breaks.
Work. Yeah.
But it's not that easy, right?
No, it's not.
Following up on that, taking the breaks and how important is that and how difficult at the same time. Do you have any other rituals or things you do, what gives you energy and you kind of put it on your schedule and follow that?
Yeah, I think it's important to be mentally and physically fit in some way, have a good stamina and have your mind focused when it should be focused, but also be able to not focus when that's important. Mm-hmm. So I think a good health is good. My weekends I'm not partying anymore, so I rest when I can and work the other hours if I'm not sleeping. I think that's really important.
Have you been dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur when you were small?
I won't say that I've been dreaming of being an entrepreneur, but I think everybody dreams about having a work that they could own, do what they would like to do, to take their own leaderships. I think everybody actually would like to do that if they were able or have the possibility to do it. For me, it was actually just a coincidence. I was tired of the job. I had a good idea. I saw the possibilities. I was testing it out with some, and suddenly I was straight into it.
You took action, yeah, and now you are there.
Now we have.
So what about pivots? Pivots is something happening a lot into our personal lives, into our business when we build something. But it's also an art, I think. So what was your experience? How did you identify you need to pivot and then doing an action?
Yeah, both. I think you can't rush it as well. But you need to listen. You need to see if this ain't gonna work. So you need to take action about it. So I think that's regarding all the founders that is not able to scale versus those are able to scale and became big companies. They did pivots. They need to take effort in that and find their way, their niche, and build their own moat in the business they're building. I think that's really important.
The last one for today. What advice would you give to your younger self? If you could go back before you started working in the finance sector or at any point, what would you tell yourself? What would you do differently maybe?
Don't do it yourself. Do it with a big, good team. Find your team that you could trust, that will support you all the way.
That's a really great reflection.
Yeah, I think so.
And a great finish for the episode today. And thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to follow you and see you next time at Slash probably.
Probably. Thank you so much.
Thank you.